guys, it is Gate of Theories here, and guys, the new Disney Plus original, The Adventures of Buck Wild for Ice Age, has just recently dropped, and whether you hated it or whether you absolutely loved it, I thought there's no better time than to rank all of the Ice Age films in a tier list, and we are even going to rank some of these specials, such as the Easter special and the Christmas special. So let's go through all these Ice Age films, but before we go any further, please make sure that you've clicked the red subscribe button down below and have your notifications turned on so that you get notified every time we make any brand new videos. Okay, here we are on the tier list, and before we go any further, I really just want to say that Ice Age is my favourite animated franchise. I love studios like Illumination Entertainment, Pixar, DreamWorks, but I have to say, I don't know what it was, but I had something really special for some Blue Sky films, and Ice Age has just and always will be, I don't think anything will ever beat it, my favourite animated film franchise. I just love all these characters, Manny, Sid, Diego, all of the rest of them, Ellie, Crash, Eddie, even some of the ones like Shira and Brooke, some of the side characters, absolutely love. And who doesn't love Scrap? Like, I love them so much. So it's going to be really hard to judge these because I love every single film, apart from one, and we'll get to that one, but I absolutely love every single film. So even if they are on the D tier, it doesn't mean that I hate it. But if they're on the S tier, it means it's like, it is incredible, absolutely incredible. So let's start with the original Ice Age, and I have such great memories with this film because when I was in first school and it was raining outside, they used to always put on a DVD. You'd either get Shrek, which I know is most people's favourites, or you get this original Ice Age. And I just loved every time it came on. It was brilliant. I love the relationships and the awkwardness between Manny, Diego, and Sid, and how these three random animals from completely different areas, Sid being all alone and being abandoned, Diego being out and trying to prove himself, and Manny just kind of being a bit moody, all going out, meeting up, and then having to work together to save a baby and return them to their mother. I think it's brilliant. I love the villains of the saber-toothed tigers. They're really great. And just the fun bits in this film are really good. I love all of the scenes with Scrap, and I just love how the baby connects with them all. And by the end of it, when Manny gives up the baby, it is really emotional. So I just really love this film. It's definitely not the best one because, after all, it wouldn't be a great franchise if it didn't improve. But as a starting point, it's a really good, strong starting point. And not many franchises, I say, start from number one and you just love it. This one, I do. This one's brilliant. For that reason, A tier. Next we have Ice Age The Meltdown. This is probably the one I've watched the least, and it's because I don't really think it's that brilliant, but I still really like it. I think the inclusion of Ellie is really interesting, especially because we've thought, oh, all of the mammoths are gone, and then that surprise ending of them all returning is really cool. I do love the climax. I have to say, Ice Age's climaxes in their films are brilliant, and I think this one has one of the best ones. So for the ending, it's amazing. It's just throughout the film, I don't think it has that brilliant of a vibe. I mean, most of these films, the way how it works is you start off in one area and the whole film is kind of them traveling. It's a journey. That's what all of these films kind of main theme and plot is in each one. And unfortunately, the journey in this film isn't that interesting to me. I do love Crash, Eddie, and Ellie, and I think they're great additions, but I just think in this film, they're not the best. And then Scrat's side story isn't as good as the first one here. So for that reason, The Meltdown, it's going to go in B tier for me. I really do like it, but it's just not going to fit into A and S tier because you have to be extremely good to get into there. Speaking of extremely good, Ice Age Dawn of the Dinosaurs. Do I need to say anything else? It's S tier. It is absolutely amazing, this film. Like, who would have thought adding a woolly mammoth and a sloth and a saber-toothed tiger with a weasel and a bunch of dinosaurs would make a brilliant film. I love the beginning of this film, how it kind of sets up some strange things occurring where we suddenly have Sid trying to be a mum, trying to be a parent figure, finding these eggs because of course we've got Peaches on the way. And I love how Manny is trying to go into father mode before Peaches has even arrived and seeing the little playground that he's set up, and it's just really emotional and I absolutely love it. And when we finally get into the underworld and we get to the dinosaurs, it's just brilliant. You've got Buck. Who doesn't love Buck? I absolutely love it. And the climax of this film is brilliant as well because we've got the worry of Ellie going to be giving birth accidentally in the dinosaur world, which I just think is really cool. So for that reason, it's at the top. The dinosaurs are awesome. Rudy is brilliant. Buck's brilliant. And all the characters are amazing. Absolutely love this film. Next we have Ice Age, A Mammoth Christmas. This was of course the Christmas special that took place after these three, and you know what? It's solid for a Christmas special. I do like the direction it goes in. It's got some pretty nice ideas, and I think because it's Ice Age, of course, it works really well for a Christmas special. It's nothing amazing because at the end of the day, it's only a half an hour short, but I really do like it. So I think it's going to put B tier. Obviously, it's not going to be anywhere near as good as these films, but it's still pretty decent. Next, we have Ice Age Continental Drift. Now, this film, it just has a special place in my heart. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because Peter Dinklage is playing the villain, which I just find hilarious, and I think he's so good at it. But I just really love this film because over these past few films, we've of course been building this family. We started with just Manny, Sid, and Diego, and then they added Ellie, Crash, Eddie. We've now got Peaches. We've now got Peaches' best friend, Lewis. We've got so many different new characters coming. We've now got Granny as well, and it was just really nice to see the original trio, plus Granny as well, go off and be separated and have to be on a journey on their own. And instead of being on a journey in the plot where they actually have to walk somewhere, they're actually just stuck on ice and they have to wait for the ice to take them somewhere. And I just think that's a brilliant idea. I love how Scrat is the reason for Pangea breaking up and for the continents breaking up. I think that's an incredible idea. And Ellie and Peaches' side story is really good as well. Seeing Peaches trying to think whether she's cool enough to hang out with her friends is really cool. But I just think the villains and the pirates in this are brilliant. The songs in this are brilliant. Sid has some of his best one-liners in this. The climax is brilliant, and I just love the vibe of this film. Like, it's so good. And just seeing this original trio back at it, but with Granny on the side and them kind of like helpless being stuck in the middle of the sea, is so good. Absolutely love it. For that reason, top of S tier. It is my favorite Ice Age film. And I know lots of people will disagree with me saying Dawn of the Dinosaurs is better. This one for me definitely wins. Next, we have Ice Age The Great Egg Escape. So they did a Christmas special. Now, after Continental Drift, they're doing an Easter special, and it works really well. It's very much the same vibe of the beginning of Dawn of the Dinosaurs, where Sid is trying to look after the eggs, and in this time, he's trying to look after lots and lots of different eggs. And it's pretty decent, but it's the same kind of vibe as the Christmas movie. I'm not sure which one I prefer. They kind of switch for me, so I'm just going to put it here in the B tier. It's obviously not going to be as good as the films, but it's still really good for a short. Next, we have Collision Course, the final proper Ice Age movie, Ice Age 5. And I really didn't know what to think about this because all of these other films have kind of stuck to the same vibe. It's all about the Ice Age is gradually beginning to melt, and by the time we get to Ice Age Continental Drift, it's nearly all gone. This time in Collision Course, this is where the Ice Age is basically about to leave and about to disappear, and I do like that vibe, so it's definitely a good ending film to have. However, the idea of going into space is a bit out there even for this franchise, where we've had mammoths looking after babies. The furthest they've ever gone is introducing dinosaurs, but now we've got space. It's a bit of a stretch, and then we've also got giant asteroids and prophecies and all that sort of stuff. Like, it's a very big jump to take considering we've just had Continental Drift. And the first time I watched it, I didn't think it was that brilliant. Like, I really didn't. I thought, like, it had some nice ideas. Peaches getting married is really nice. I do like Julian as a character, and I think Manny trying to be with him is really funny. I think Sid has some good moments in here, and I do really love Brooke, not just because she's played by Jessie J, but just for other reasons as well. And it's nice seeing Diego with Shira as well in this film. That's pretty cool. However, to me, it didn't really fit my vibe. So when I first watched it, it probably would have been in C tier. But upon a rewatch, it's one of those films where it just gets better and better every time I've watched it. And every time I've watched it, I've wanted to watch it more because I've ended up liking it more. And I don't know what it is, but now I actually really like it. And I don't think it's as good as these three films, but I'm going to say it's better than The Meltdown. As an ending film, it is a really nice happy ending, and I love the journey of trying to stop the asteroid. The climax is really cool, and Buck's phrases are pretty cool, and his logic is pretty cool as well. How he's like, the asteroid killed the dinosaurs, wiped out, then the asteroid's gonna kill the Ice Age, wiped out, and then very soon it's gonna kill the humans later on. Like, I love that. I think that's really cool, and the space theme, I've gotten used to it now. So for that reason, I think it's gonna go top A tier. I don't know what it is, but I've just began really liking it. And finally, we have Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild. It's just such a disappointment. Like, this is my favorite franchise. This is my favorite animated franchise. It's beaten stuff like Toy Story for me, which I absolutely love. and as soon as Disney takes over it, they just ruin it. And I don't know how they managed it. I really don't. Like, we're getting a new, like, several scratch shorts, so I'm hoping that's going to be really good. But this just wasn't. It's D tier. It's so bad. And it had so much great potential. Like, it had... Oh, it was brilliant. Apart from the fact that it just really annoys me that it does not take place anywhere in the timeline that makes sense, because they haven't met Buck until Peaches has been born, because Peaches is born when they first meet Buck. However, here they're reuniting with Buck, and it's clearly been a long time, yet Peaches isn't there. And then you could say, well, maybe Peaches is older and it's when she's gone and got married. However, if that was the case, then Sid's girlfriend Brooke would be there and Shira would be there for Diego. So this just doesn't make sense in timeline order, which makes me think it's not canon whatsoever, which I'm really hoping it's not, because I just really do not like it. The animation quality is absolutely awful. You go from Collision Course to Adventures of Buck Wild and it's rubbish. I don't understand how Disney Plus managed to mess it up so badly. And it's Buck. How did they manage to ruin Buck? I love him as a character, but this story was just not interesting. It's called The Adventures of Buck Wild. They could have had a sequel, and it would have been amazing seeing how Buck survived. Or what they could have done, which they kind of hinted at in this, they could have done an entire prequel focusing on just Buck, and don't introduce any of the other characters. Just make this a spin-off and just focus with how Buck got into the dinosaur world. That would have been amazing. I would have loved that. But unfortunately, they decided to bring back Crash and Eddie, played by different actors. We didn't get Josh Peck in there, which is really annoying. And the only actor who did stay was Simon Pegg to play Buck. The rest of them are rubbish, I'm not gonna lie, at playing these characters. Ellie is okay. Manny sounds completely off. Sid, none of his jokes work without the actor's voice, and it just sounds really stupid. And Diego's rubbish in this as well. And Scrat isn't even in it. Like, it's so bad and it makes me so annoyed. So for that reason, unfortunately, it's going in D tier. But anyway, guys, that's the end of this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, make sure that you smash that like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Guys, let us know down below in the comments, what do you think about my tier list? Do you agree with me of where I have placed these Ice Age movies? And where would you place the Ice Age movies in your tier list? Let me know down below there. And if you want to check out the tier list for yourself, there will be a link also down below in the description. But as always, we've been here on Gate of Theories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.